When it comes to Superman, every generation gets its own version to cheer for, each unique from the rest. But rarely have two takes on the same hero felt more different than Zack Snyder's brooding Superman and James Gunn's upcoming fresh spin on the character. While both tell the story of the famous being from Krypton, their vibes, environments, characters, and even the suits they rock couldn't be much more different. Snyder's Superman flew onto screens in 2013 with Man of Steel, a film drowning in post-9/11 imagery, mythic scale, and heavy philosophical questions. Henry Cavill's Kal-El was basically a lonely god, more of an intimidating deity than a regular guy. The world was terrified of him before they ever considered appreciating or even loving him. His choices were always moral problems with no clear good answers, and the whole look matched that feeling. Washed out colors, harsh lighting, grim feelings all over the place, each serving to reflect the depressive, realistic mood. Now jump to James Gunn's 2025 Superman. One peek at the trailer and the tone shift hits you like a truck. Vibrant colors pop off the screen. The mood is brighter, and although it's uplifting, it doesn't feel any less genuine. David Koretzwitz's Superman isn't floating above humanity looking sad or deep in contemplation about moral dilemmas. He's walking among the regular folk. There's this sense of wonder in every frame, showing that this Superman wants to inspire people, not make them nervous or afraid. Hope versus heaviness. The immense difference between the two starts with the overall feeling the creators are going for. Snyder's Superman barely talks, always looks concerned, and spends a lot of time thinking deeply away from other people. His whole deal is about being an outsider, having too much power, and sacrificing everything because of it. Gunn's Superman seems instead to embrace being human just as much as being from Krypton. He's still going through it, for sure. People still don't trust him completely, but the vibe suggests he's not giving up, and that things are looking up. He believes things can get better, and they will. In Snyder's universe, our boy ends up dead before the world even fully decides if they like him or fear him. When we do see him in public, angry mobs throw stuff at him. It literally takes him dying for humanity to realize, oh wait, maybe that flying guy was actually trying to help us all along. That's powerful storytelling, and the actual scene is amazing, but man, is it depressing to think back on. Gunn's Superman also deals with haters. We see him getting attacked, embarrassed, and misunderstood, but there's a key difference. The trailer opens with Superman hurt and his dog Krypto coming to help him. This isn't some untouchable god falling from the sky, it's just a dude trying to pick himself back up. The feeling is personal and warm, not epic and crushing. Not to get too heavy, but the contrast here is what makes these two versions so fascinating to compare. One is gritty from the start, an untouchable legend giving it all for humanity thanklessly, whereas the other is already struggling to make things work, but is optimistically doing his best. Colors and camera. Visually, the difference will give you whiplash. Snyder shot his Superman on special film cameras to get this grainy, textured, almost biblical kind of look. Colors were toned way down to feel realistic and morally complex. Think brown tones, dark shadows, a Superman wrapped in metal and sadness. Gunn's Superman is completely different. Shot digitally on fancy Red V Raptor cameras with IMAX certification, every scene bursts with brightness and clarity. The cinematographer Henry Bram uses bold colors and dynamic movement throughout scenes. The camera feels free, using cool tech like the Stable Eye Nano to get these smooth, flowing shots that match the movie's upbeat energy. This isn't just about looking pretty. The brighter, cleaner style is telling us something. It's saying this Superman exists in a world that hasn't given up on heroes yet. It's not afraid of color. It's not afraid to feel good sometimes. It's a much more positive look at the character. Fashion tells a story. One of the biggest differences is in the supersuits themselves. Cavill's Superman wears this textured, almost armored outfit. It looks alien, thick, metallic, definitely from another planet. No red undies on the outside like we're used to. The cape flows like something you'd bring to battle. It's a suit made for a weapon, not a symbol to inspire people worldwide. Koretzwitz's suit is straight comic book goodness. Bright blue matched with a bold red. And yes, the classic red trunks are back in action. The design celebrates Superman's history as both a character and a cultural icon over the years. It doesn't try to hide being colorful or classic. It leans into it as a homage. Even that famous hair curl is back. This Superman visually connects to nostalgia, but with modern clarity. The message is clear. This version isn't trying to break down the Superman myth. It's trying to bring it back to its former glory. But another major makeover is one of Superman's deadly enemies. Lex Luthor, from Wildcard to Master Planner. Lex Luthor has always been Superman's #1 enemy. But how each movie handles the old Baldy tells us a lot about the bigger storytelling approach. Snyder's Lex, played by Jesse Eisenberg, is twitchy, unpredictable, and driven by unchecked neurosis. He's less businessman and more chaos with a big brain. His reasons for doing things are hard to follow, wrapped in wild ramblings and psychological weirdness. He feels less like a threat to humanity and more like a warning about humans getting too full of themselves, like Icarus flying too close to the sun. Gunn's Lex, played by Nicholas Hoult, seems to go back to basics, inspired by comic stories like All-Star Superman and Lex Luthor, Man of Steel. This version is cool, calculating, and thoughtful. He believes Superman threatens human independence, not because he's evil, but because he's an alien at the core. His manipulation is subtle, convincing, based on charm rather than madness, paying attention to the roots of the villain. The result is a bad guy who challenges Superman with ideas. He's not trying to overpower him physically. He's trying to outthink him, out-human him, and that subtlety feels way more dangerous to his image of humanity. The world around the Man of Steel. Another major difference is in the world each Superman lives in. Snyder's Metropolis is cold, urban, and realistic. The Daily Planet building is gray and boring. The city feels like New York under constant threat of destruction. In Gunn's version, Metropolis looks like a comic book come to life. The Daily Planet's golden globe shines in the skyline. The city is colorful and stylized. It reflects the Superman who protects it, hopeful, idealistic, but still dealing with real problems. And it's not just the setting. The supporting characters around Superman have changed dramatically too. Snyder's world keeps Superman isolated. Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Justice League only show up much later after massive threats appear. Gunn drops Superman into a universe already full of heroes. Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Metamorpho, even Krypto the Superdog. These aren't just quick cameos. Gunn has confirmed they're actually part of the story. They bring a sense of community and legacy. Superman isn't flying solo anymore. But for all the color and friendship, both versions of Superman share one troubling theme. The world they save doesn't always trust them. And how each Superman earns or loses that trust shows us the biggest difference of all. Trust issues and public perception. Superman is crazy powerful. That's something nobody doubts. What's always uncertain, though, is how regular people respond to that power. And in both Snyder's and Gunn's visions, that response is complicated. In Man of Steel, humanity is straight up terrified. Entire neighborhoods get wrecked when he fights General Zod. Even when he wins, people aren't sure if he's the good guy or just the lesser evil. Batman v Superman goes all in on this fear. Protesters gather. Conspiracy theories spread. Bruce Wayne sees a god, not a man, and he's convinced that God could wipe out humanity without breaking a sweat. Gunn doesn't ignore that tension. His Superman might face even more direct hostility. He's not just feared, he's been made fun of, heckled, attacked. Crowds surround him not in amazement, but in anger. He has to retreat, hiding from public rage. And the crazy part is that this isn't a brand new Superman showing up for the first time. This Superman has been around for a while. It's a different kind of distrust. Snyder's Superman is feared because no one knows what he is. Gunn's Superman is doubted despite people knowing him. That flips the script, and it asks a new question. What happens when the world turns against the one person trying hardest to save it? Story structure. Beyond looks and tone, the most revealing difference might be in how each filmmaker builds their story. Snyder has big ideas, long, interconnected narratives, but he's also known for moments that promise something that never fully follow through. The floating dirt above Superman's coffin at the end of Batman v Superman hints he might not be truly dead. In Justice League, he is dead, and he's brought back with a magic box and some electricity. No connection, no explanation, no payoff. Sure, it's nice symbolism for hope rising, but practically speaking, it was weird. Gunn, on the other hand, is known for tight storytelling. Setup and payoff are deliberate. In Guardians of the Galaxy, when something gets foreshadowed, it leads somewhere. Small details like certain visual motifs come back later with deeper meaning. That kind of clarity builds trust with viewers that the story has meaning. The audience feels rewarded for paying attention. Gunn's Superman, from what we've seen so far, seems to follow that approach. Scenes are framed with purpose. Symbolism isn't just for style, it's part of the story's backbone. Sincerity versus cynicism. The emotional temperatures of these two Supermen couldn't be more different. Snyder's is noble, but distant. He's often unsure, haunted. There's this weight on him that never properly goes away. His world is cynical and grim. His choices always have unintended consequences. Gunn's Superman may face doubt too, but there's this spark of sincerity in his journey, a belief that goodness can still win in the end of the day. The trailer shows a child in a war zone raising a red flag as a signal for Superman to come help. That's not just asking for assistance, that's next-level hope and faith. Even in chaos, someone still believes that a hero will come for him. And that moment tells us everything about what Gunn is going for. This is a Superman meant to inspire and save, not just by lifting heavy stuff or punching bad guys, but by being someone people want to believe in. Even when it's hard, he'll keep pushing. At the end of the day, the difference between Gunn's Superman and Snyder's isn't just about style, tone, or costume choices. It's deeply philosophical. Snyder asked whether the world deserves Superman. Gunn is asking whether Superman can help the world believe in itself again after years of hardship. Both are valid questions, but they shape different kinds of stories. Snyder's films confront fear. Gunn seems to be confronting disillusionment. One wears darkness proudly. The other looks through its cracks to find light. Which vibe do you prefer? And do you think Gunn will be able to pull off the best superhero movie since Endgame? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, drop it a like, and if you want to see more Marvel and DC content, click the video on screen now.